Good morning, students. Today we will continue with our chapter number 4, photosynthesis and respiration. Last time we have studied about photosynthesis. Now today we will study about working of stomata. Each stoma, it is a singular of stomata, is surrounded by two guard cells. The guard cells control the opening and closing of stomata. Water moves in and out from the guard cell. When guard cell absorbs water from the neighboring cells, they swell and the stomata open up. This allows water vapor to escape from the leaves. When the guard cells lose water, they shrink and the stomata gets closed. The main function of stomata is to take in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere for photosynthesis and release oxygen. The excess water in plant also moves out through the stomata in plants. The process of loss of water is called transpiration. In the leaves, gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water vapor diffuse in and out through the stomata. The opening and closing of the stomata is also affected by the intensity of light. During the day, the stomata are open, and at night they are usually closed. Therefore, less gas escapes from the leaf surface. What is respiration? All the living organisms need energy for the various physical and metabolic activities. The energy comes from the food that we eat. We already know that the food we eat gets digested and absorbed by the body. The glucose present in the absorbed food combines with the oxygen and produces carbon dioxide, water, and energy. This process is called respiration. So, the definition for respiration is the process of conversion of glucose molecules from food into energy rich ATP, the full form of which is adenosine triphosphate molecules, carbon dioxide, water with the help of oxygen is called respiration. The word equation for the respiration is as follows: glucose plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide plus water plus 38 ATP, the energy which is produced. By the breaking down of the glucose molecule, energy released in the form of heat, but a large amount of it is converted into ATP, a chemical energy. The ATP molecules release energy for all the cellular activities. Hence, they are also called energy currency of the cells. Types of respiration. Depending on the breaking down of food, in the presence or absence of oxygen, respiration is of two types: aerobic respiration in the presence of oxygen and anaerobic respiration in absence of oxygen. Aerobic respiration. It is a process by which the complete breakdown of glucose takes place in the presence of oxygen. In this process, carbon dioxide and water is produced as the end products, with the liberation of energy in the form of ATP. In aerobic respiration, 38 molecules of ATP per unit cell are produced. The word equation for the aerobic respiration is as follows: glucose plus oxygen produces carbon dioxide plus water plus 38 ATP as energy. Aerobic respiration takes place in most of the organisms, including human beings, animals, and plants. Our muscle cells respire aerobically, but during the vigorous exercise, our body needs more energy and the blood fails to supply enough oxygen to meet the demand. In this type of situation, anaerobic respiration takes place in the muscle cells and glucose is incompletely broken down for releasing energy. In this process, a poisonous substance called lactic acid is produced, which accumulates in the muscle cells and causes muscular cramps. Anaerobic respiration, a process by which the incomplete breakdown of glucose takes place in the absence of oxygen or when the oxygen is present in a very less amount, is called anaerobic respiration. Carbon dioxide and ethyl alcohol or lactic acid in animals are the end products of the anaerobic respiration. There is a small amount of energy. Two molecules of ATP are released in this process. The word equation for the anaerobic respiration is as follows: glucose plus oxygen gives ethyl alcohol in case of plants or lactic acid in case of animals plus carbon dioxide plus 2 ATP as energy. Fermentation is a process in which organisms like yeast respire anaerobically. All the alcoholic drinks are made by the fermentation of sugar present in the fruit juice. This process is also used in the bakery industry. Differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration occurs in the absence of oxygen, where the amount of oxygen is very less. Aerobic respiration, glucose is completely broken down. In anaerobic respiration, the absorbed food, that is glucose, is incompletely broken down. In aerobic respiration, no alcohol is formed. In aerobic respiration, alcohol is formed. In aerobic respiration, large amount of energy is released, that is 38 ATP molecules are formed. In anaerobic respiration, small amount of energy is released, that is 2 ATP molecules are formed. In aerobic respiration, carbon dioxide and water are given out as end products. In anaerobic respiration, ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide are given out as end products. Similarities between aerobic and anaerobic respirations. Both the processes take place within the cells. Both produce ATP molecules and both produce byproducts and depend on some chemical reactions. We'll do an activity to show that carbon dioxide gas is released during the respiration. The materials required for it are a glass half filled with lime water, a straw, and a paper glass cover. The procedure for it is as follows. We take a glass which is half filled with the lime water, cover the glass with the paper glass cover and seal it using an adhesive tape. Make a hole in the paper glass and cover. Fix the straw in it. Blow air in the glass from the mouth. What changes we observe in the glass? The lime water in the glass turns milky due to the presence of carbon dioxide in the exhaled air. We do one more activity to demonstrate that carbon dioxide is released during the respiration. using the germinating pea seeds. The materials required for it are as follows: a conical flask, a beaker, a cork with a hole, a glass tube bent at right angles, a small test tube, KOH solution, thread, colored water, Vaseline and germinating seeds. The procedure for it is: take the conical flask and place some germinating gram or pea seeds in it. Insert the shorter end of the glass tube through the hole in the cork and fix it on the conical flask. Before fixing the cork, hang a test tube containing KOH solution inside the conical flask with the help of the thread. Take the colored water in the beaker and keep the longer end of the glass tube dipped inside it. Make the conical flask airtight by applying Vaseline on its rim. Note the initial level of water in the tube. After an hour, note the rise in water level without disturbing the apparatus. The level of water rises up in the bent tube. It is because the carbon dioxide produced during respiration is absorbed by the KOH solution, which creates a low pressure in the conical flask. Therefore, the air present in the bent glass moves into the conical flask. This pulls the water in the bent tube further up. Respiration in plants. Plants do not need as much energy as animals because they are fixed in the ground. They need energy only for growth, reproduction, and for transporting materials between the cells. So most of the plants respire aerobically. In plants, the process of respiration takes place in day and in night as all the other living organisms. The exchange of gases takes place through stomata or lenticels. Stomata are the small pores present mostly on the lower surface of the leaf and on the surface of the young green stems. They remain open during the day and remain closed at night. Most of the gaseous exchange takes place through stomata in plants. In trees, woody stems are sheathed in layers of dead, waxy cork which is impervious to oxygen and carbon dioxide. That means it doesn't allow the oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange. However, the layer of cork is perforated by non-waxy pores called lenticels through which the gaseous exchange takes place. Lenticels have large openings which are permanently open. They may look like scars on the bark of the tree. They are also present on many fruits, quite noticeably on apples and pears. Differences between stomata and lenticels. Stomata are small, tiny pores usually present on the lower surface of the leaves and the young green stems. Lenticels are the non-waxy pores present on the bark of the trees. Stomata open during the day and close at night. Lenticels are permanently open and are never closed. The comparison between photosynthesis and respiration. During the daytime, both photosynthesis and respiration take place simultaneously. The oxygen released in photosynthesis is used in respiration. The carbon dioxide released in respiration is used in photosynthesis. But at night, no photosynthesis takes place, and the carbon dioxide released as a result of respiration is given out by the plants into the surroundings. So it is said that we should not sleep under a tree at night as we take in carbon dioxide through respiration and it may affect our health. Now the differences between photosynthesis and respiration. In photosynthesis, the food is synthesized. In respiration, the food is broken down. Photosynthesis, oxygen gas is released. In respiration, oxygen is taken inside. In photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is taken in for the making of the food. In respiration, carbon dioxide is given out as a byproduct from the body. In photosynthesis, chlorophyll and sunlight are required. In respiration, chlorophyll and sunlight are not required. In photosynthesis, energy is stored, and in respiration, energy is produced. In photosynthesis, it takes place during the day only. Respiration takes place all the time, that is day and night. Thank you.